speaking of this idea of slowing down to speed up, let's say someone heard us talking earlier about beginning of the cycle, you apply then, you get more scholarship money, you get better odds. I could see some folks who watch the replay of this in August who are thinking, I've got to get it all done now and apply at the very beginning of the cycle. And they might feel like they need to rush through their application. Do you ever come across applications that feel a bit rushed, like the personal statement is kind of has some errors perhaps, or is written too quickly? How do you spot that? What are some red flags you see in applications?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. On your personal statement, we specifically don't have a prompt, but other law schools do. So kind of follow the prompt that you get. But we've seen some beautifully crafted personal statements, and the rest of the application looks like it was filled out in a car in 5 minutes. That is a big red flag to me. If your addendums don't match, if you write a great addendum, an LSAT addendum, your resume, your diversity statement, whatever it is, and the writing doesn't match, I'm going to be wondering why it doesn't match. Consider every part of the application is important. LSAT's important for scholarship money. GPA and LSAT are important indicators for getting in. But 90% of what you're going to do as an attorney is writing and research. And if you're not a strong writer, that's a concern. But if it looks like somebody else maybe wrote it for you, or you spent a lot of time on one thing but didn't care about the other parts, that tells me something about your personality and your character. So that's a big red flag. We do see people, I've had people with really high GPAs and LSATs who threw together an application and thought that they would just get in because of those. And they were denied because it was clear they put no effort into the work that they were submitting. And this is the first time that we're meeting you is on paper. So if I get an indication that you're sort of lazy or that you don't want to do the work, I don't think you're going to do well in a law school program. So you're probably not going to be invited. We do have a rigorous program. Most law schools are very rigorous. So you need to be able to do the work. But yeah, if I'm getting addendums for grades that are saying, oh, I had a terrible professor who didn't like me and it was everybody else's fault and my laptop broke down at this day. And, if you have a million excuses as to why you did poorly all throughout college, probably not going to bode well for you.
No, definitely not. And again, you want the numbers in the end, right? Like obviously anyone could have a bad semester or even a bad year, but you're looking for that upward trend with the GPA. And if the LSAT's low, retake.
Well, and I also want to know what was going on. So if you do have a bad semester or a bad year, sometimes we get freshmen who, they had fun their first year out of their parents' house and made some iffy choices, but they came back from it. I still want you to write an addendum about that because I want to know what happened. Part of being an attorney is your character and fitness. We want to know, do you take responsibility for what happened? Do you learn from your failures? Are you a hard worker that can come back from things? Do you acknowledge when you've made mistakes? Those things make you a stronger candidate in my eyes.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.